Talked about doing your due diligence regarding trades. I'm wondering, were you close to making it?
What did I say on Monday? Because I forgot.
I said you were going to do your due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, were you close to making any deals, and is there any measure of disappointment?
Well, first I would say that deals are like being pregnant. You either are or you aren't. There's no it's either a deal or it's not. So I don't know how close you can be. I know that everyone worked hard, and that we investigated and looked in and made phone calls, and what personnel departments do. And in the end, we decided that this was what we were going to do, and decided to move forward with our preparation. Tampa, excellent football team, coming off a bye. A lot of really good veterans that have played at a high level for a lot of years, and a really, really competitive quarterback who's never out of it. So, that's where our focus is. I know that there's a lot of action and a lot of talk, and again, it's kind of where we're at.
Any developing opinions from yesterday, Mazz?
Yeah, this whole thing of, it's like being pregnant. You either make the deal or you don't, I think is bullcrap. There are lots of deals you get close to that don't happen. And I understand it's a at the end of the day, it either happens or it doesn't. But you can get close. You can think you are close to a deal, and then all we have to do is get past this final step, and then it doesn't happen. So I don't know. I mean, I have theories as to why he answered it the way he did, because maybe they didn't ever get close.
Give me one, yeah.
So, and maybe maybe they weren't trying all that hard. So, now he says everyone tried, but I get the sense that if you think you really have a chance, you push and you make a deal. And that might mean overpaying. Now, in this particular case, I think that Patriots made a conscious decision. Here's what I'm telling you. I don't necessarily look at Vrabel and say, you idiot, you didn't make a deal. Whether he did or he didn't, I'd say, he has the right to think what he thinks about it. I can disagree with him. Don't tell me, I just think he kind of bullcrapped the answer, by saying, well, you either do or you don't. No, that's not true. That's not true. There are levels there are degrees at which you get closer to making deals and don't. So he just didn't want to deal with the topic. He didn't want to deal with the question. But, and my guess is they weren't all that intent on making a trade because they didn't like the prices.
He was clearly agitated. We'll give you more examples of it here in a second. But, Murray, first a thought?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about getting pregnant when your front office is practicing organizational celibacy. This is just what they do. It's not even, I got in this argument with my buddies last night. Well, this is like Red Soxian what they did. At least the Red Sox make piddly moves. They did nothing. They did negative. They dumped Keon White. They dumped Kyle Duggar. You bring nothing back? Nothing even for depth? You have depth issues. I didn't expect them to get a big name. But to hear that Breece Hall could have maybe been had for a third from the Jets, that's what Diana Rossini said. That's kind of annoying. You could use another running back. But, okay, you're not going to bring in a name. Something? Another safety? Another linebacker? Something? You're good with what you have? So what? It's just wait till the offseason and then... So the Red Sox comp there is wait till the offseason, and then it'll be players they're interested in, this theoretical money they're going to spend on the Juan Sotos of the world and Devers and Yamamoto, but it never gets spent, and instead you sign leftovers. It just felt like a missed opportunity yesterday. They should have done something, just even on the margins, to add some depth. You have a good team.
Okay, you can join the conversation. Jimmy, if you would please release the hounds. Open the phones at 617-779-0985. I'm not in and of itself in a vacuum bent out of shape about the deadline. I am the fact that you expect them to be a buyer, or you expect anyone to be a buyer or a seller at the NFL trade deadline is a relatively new thing. I just got to tell you. I mean, back in my day when I covered the team, it was a kind of a non-event.
It was a big zero, really,
across the league. I mean, there were years where there was hardly anything that happened. And that was expected. It just wasn't a thing. You didn't count down to the deadline. You didn't often know when it was. It came and went, and there were no special shows or commentary about the thing. It's just, that's the way it's just kind of been in that league. So the fact that there's movement, or the expectation of movement, is really a new thing. So I'm not, and there's a lot of good teams, championship, caliber contending teams that did nothing. in this. So, like, in and of itself, that they didn't do anything is, fine. I'm not. NFL trade deadline is not one of my big events. It's just, I don't want to say I don't care, but I kind of don't care.
Okay, but you do acknowledge that yesterday there was some significant movement across the league.
However, that was just my setup.
Oh.
However, the part that bugs me on the backside is the commentary or the excuse making. And the worst of it all is the tisking of other teams that tried to get better. Like, somehow now the Colts are stupid. And this was back when I did cover the team, or during the Brady Belichick run when we were on here or some other forum, or again, I was writing. The number one thing that started to go up my ass was how the Patriots routinely wouldn't be aggressive personnel-wise, or they wouldn't spend, or they wouldn't do anything, relatively speaking. Someone else would, and that team was stupid. The Jets were stupid. The Broncos were stupid. The Colts were stupid for paying them. They're stupid for trading up. They're stupid for signing that stupid, dumbass teams. So-and-so stupid for giving J.J. Watt a contract. Someone stupid for trading up in the first round. Dumbass team signing that guy in free agency. Dumbass team making that trade at the deadline. And I pick up just a little whiff of this right now, Maz. I have in the last 24 hours. I've picked up a whiff of it. Whether we're now sort of looking down on the Washington Commanders because they hit early last year and tried to accelerate it, or tried to cash in by not just making a trade at the deadline, but then doing some things in the offseason to try and win at a higher level now. They're somehow now stupid. You don't want to be them. Or the Colts are stupid for giving up a couple first-round picks and paying Sauce Gardner. That's the part I can't. So, and part of it is it comes from the team. I mean, I lived it, So I know how they think, and I know how they sort of talk off the record. We don't want to be them. Look at them. That's stupid. They're dumb. So, and it's all just a way to excuse them not spending money. So, just because you don't want to spend money doesn't make someone else stupid. And they might be. The Jets have done a lot of stupid things over the years. So I'm not saying that in some cases they weren't right, that Team X was stupid. But Team X is trying to win. They're trying to win. The Commanders were trying to win. The Colts are trying to win. And it's just gross to have people dump on teams that are trying to win. It's not your money. What do you care that they save money? Or you're really that all horned up for your 6th-round draft picks? Suddenly everyone else is stupid. That's the part I hate. And I've gotten a whiff of that in the last 24 hours.
Well, so I'm glad you brought up the Indy thing, okay? Because this one, the criticism of the Sauce Gardner trade is really almost 100% financial. And let me explain why. Indianapolis right now has the number 32 pick in the first round. Okay, they have the best record in the league. Right now, if you go through everything, all the tiebreakers, Indianapolis is number 1. Now, that will go to the Super Bowl winner. But regardless, then the rest of them get sorted out by where you finish in the regular season. The point being, Indianapolis's pick is going to end up at the end of the first round this year because they're going to end up with, 12, 13, 14 wins? I don't know. I mean, do I think they're going to win out? No. Do I think they're going to lose out? No. So they're going to come in near the bottom of the league. Sauce Gardner was the number 4 pick in the league in the draft when he was selected. He's now a known, established commodity. So they traded 2 potentially late-round first-rounders for a guy who was the number 4 pick in the draft. What they really gave up was the low cost of having him as a rookie. That's the difference.
Right.
They got the player. He's young. He was a high first-round pick. They just missed out on the first 3 or 4 years where he's being paid less than the typical premium corner. So Indy said, F it, we'll take him anyway. We don't care if we have to pay him. It's a money decision. It's not a talent decision. Now, I know they gave up 2 picks, not 1. but they got a guaranteed thing. Like, I don't understand why that is stupid.
They're just trying to win. They just want to win. And they're willing to spend to win, and they're being aggressive to win. They're trying to win. And sometimes you make mistakes when you are aggressive trying to win. But I just find it so, I know, and I hate when I hear it come from the media, and then the fans parrot it. The other team is stupid because they're being aggressive trying to win. And listen to yourself. It's like, I hate those teams, like the fans that root for the team to save money. Like, it exists. I don't understand you.
You know, it's dorks playing the GM role.
Murray's right. We said that yesterday, and it's true.
So it's definitely that.
Dorking out.
And then the media that's supposed to cover the team, like, I always sort of viewed the media as like the fans' advocate, the watchdog, if you will, the ones that's supposed to keep the teams honest. So to me, I've always viewed our role in the media to be the ones that push the team to spend and challenge the team when they say why they're not spending. And if they don't do anything and aren't aggressive, to push them and be excited when they do something where they're trying to win. But when other teams try and win and you do nothing, you say, oh, they're stupid. God, that's like my least favorite thing. So I haven't heard a ton of that. I don't want to straw man the thing, but I have heard some of it.
That Washington thing was particularly obnoxious. Not to dump on Bedard, but like that one kind of went up my ass yesterday. Like they were dumb to make the conference championship last year.
Or to try and get better.
With a young quarterback that's playing phenomenally, just kind of like how Drake May is this year.
But which isn't to applaud the move. Lattimore didn't work out. Some of the other ones did. I mean, Tunsil's their left tackle. He's a good player. But at the end of the day, they're having a down year. But they tried to win. Like, that's what you should want your team to do, to try and win. And when you're really good, to try and win now. So that's all. Like, that's my follow-up thing. I don't like hearing it. But what crawled up Vrabel's ass today? Give me number 5, Jimmy.
The long-term vision for the program, is what's most important here and factored in.
No, winning is the most important thing. Don't put words in my mouth. Winning is the most important thing.
When you guys were
Keep going.
When you guys are discussing how to
So hold
handle
on. So the question was the long-term view is the most important thing here? Okay, Mike, winning's the most important thing. All right, fine. Go ahead.
and factored in.
No, winning is the most important thing. Don't put words in my mouth. Winning is the most important thing.
When you guys were
Keep going.
When you guys are discussing how to handle the trade deadline, did the fact of how wide open the AFC currently looks like at all factor into your decision making?
For us to sit here and think that anything is wide open and talk about playoffs, like we're focusing on our 10th game in a row. That's what we're focused on, is how do we get prepared on Wednesday? How do we get our bodies back? How do we get mentally prepared, physically prepared to go on the road to a place that is hard to play? And that's where our focus is. It's not trying to predict the future of saying, well, it's wide open. I mean, we're just going to keep focusing on what's in front of us, and that's what those conversations are about.
Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, it's a cop-out answer. I'm getting tired of this whole sort. We're focused on Tampa Bay. We're focused on Cincinnati. The job is both. That's his job. That's all their job. Their job is both. Why is it so outrageous to say the conference is wide open? You shouldn't be looking at the landscape to understand who your competition is?
Would you say that how they handled this trade deadline starting last week, their focus was on winning this year?
No.
Nope.
No.
They sold.
Yes.
They were sellers. So their focus was not on winning this year. Do they want to win this year? Sure. Might they win this year? Yeah. I still give them a pretty good chance. You bet. The focus of how they maneuvered at this deadline was about the long term.
Definitely.
Not about winning this year.
Definitely.
So he doesn't get to say that. It's bullcrap.
It is total bullcrap answer.
Mike, if it was about winning this year, you would have acted differently. No, it was about, giving yourself the best chance to win over the next 5. Which, okay, I got it. But you did not operate this year to maximize your chance to win this year. And I'll just close with this before we go to break. This might be your best chance to win in several. I mean, I hope it's not, but you could be a better team, have a better roster, progress as you think you're going to progress, and not be 7-2 and not be sitting tied for the number 1 seed with the chance to have a bye. Things happen. Schedule, injuries, bounces of the ball, etc. A lot of teams, it turns out, recently, their best chance to win was their first year. Maybe the Commanders. Maybe they'll never have another chance like they did last year. C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. Felt like his first year was their year, and they haven't really come back and threatened quite like they did that first year. I can come up with more examples if you want. So sometimes this year is the year. It is going to be your best chance. And you did not prioritize winning this year. I think that's not a reach to say that.